Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I got something a little bit different for you today. What happened was I was actually in a game testing something and recording a little bit of footage for a completely different video idea. So I'm just loaded into a game and solo. And what ended up happening is while I was running around, I just couldn't help myself, but I had to go and kill a couple of teams and I had to steal a couple of bounties, etc. And as I was doing this and playing for a day, I ended up playing a lot of solo, which I don't typically do. And I ended up changing my loadout, and this kind of evolving idea came to be. And then the next thing you know, I end up in different matches trying to accomplish different things. And in this particular match, what the idea eventually turned into was, how long can I screw around with one team and just keep them scared and keep them from moving? And this is what we ended up with. So I'm going to kind of do what I can to cut this short, because as it turns out, I can keep them sitting still for a really long time. But I'll interject just a little bit here and there so you can kind of know what's going on in my head. But we're just going to let this play out, and I'll do what I can to cut the video down. But just to explain my loadout, I've got my favorite weapon, the Sparchy, and I've been kind of solo sniping and wiping teams and killing bounties. I've got a silent and got pistol, which I've been using, one, to move quietly through the map, and two, I've been using it as misdirection. I've been using it to set off noise traps from a distance. The other key thing that I have is I have a blank fire decoys that I've been using also for the misdirection and for some meme clips, which will be presented more directly as a feature point in a different video. And I've also got some regeneration shots, which I don't normally take, but since I've been playing so solo snipery, I've got a few of those just to kind of play with them and test them out a little bit more. Anyhow, we're going to get into the video, and it's going to start off the team that ends up being the focal point of this video. I'm going to see them in just a second here, and I'm actually going to miss, which is not, something I do all the time, but I do it, and that's going to set everything into motion, and then you'll see how this idea kind of changes and evolves over time. One more thing is I'm going to use the Hunt map, which has that interactive map and the ruler tool, and what I'll do with that is just kind of show you the distance, kind of replicating that heat map idea that's been teased before, but I'll show you the distance at which I get some of these shots in at. And I'm going to do that for a couple of videos now and see how I like that idea, so keep an eye out for that. I'll display that on screen once we get a shot. And it is going to be a little bit slower of a video than I usually do. A little less action and a little less shooting, a little less kills. But it definitely demonstrates something that I've been talking about lately and complaining about, is the total inactivity that enters some of these matches, especially as you climb the MMR scale. So it kind of demonstrates that, and I wanted to take a stab at telling a story with a video. So let me know what you think, and let me know if it sucks. there's a few things that I want to point out ahead of time. One, I'm going to throw a blank fire in a second here, and that'll actually pull the attention of the dogs a little bit, as well as putting a shout out here for other teams to hear, maybe misdirect them a little bit. And then two, you're going to see in a second here, starting right at the 6-minute mark, that I can already hear them crouch walking on that, what is that, that northeast side of the compound past the dog kennel to my right here. And I want to illustrate this because I'm telling people all the time, crouch walking is not silent, and this is really going to demonstrate it pretty well, especially when they eventually get underneath me. Additionally, you can already hear that kennel kind of yowling a little bit, so that dog kennel's already stirred up. That's another way that I already know they're over there. Now, keep in mind, I have taken this clue already, so it is red for them, but not for me. I can't use it, and they definitely know I'm close, but I'm hoping that it masks the sound of my steps a little bit. Okay, so now I don't know who shot me. I'm like, is that another team, or did they manage to flank me with a guy and I didn't hear it? I don't know, but I definitely need to reposition. They're on to me. You know, I'm outnumbered. I got to get a little bit of distance now and start whittling them down. Holy fuck, here's another shot. What is going on? How are these guys in so many places at once? and then I just need to move out of here. I just caught that reptile guy right there. Now I'm like, these dudes are fucking everywhere. And I step back to try to shoot him, but yeah, shit's going sideways. I'm getting shot at from 52 different directions. I gotta heal up and try to survive so that I can reintegrate myself into this fight. Alright, so right here, we're going to do our first time skip. Basically, I'm going to look back over the wall. I'm going to see if I can spot that guy. Ultimately, I do not. I lose track of him, so I'm just going to rotate, reposition, and then re-engage. Alright, I've made it down to Bradley. Now, I'm still operating under the idea that there's a team over there, and I want to take them out. And I don't yet know what I'm going to do with them. I'm kind of debating, do I want to take out this dog cage or not? But I definitely want to see if I can get one of them to peek me so I can get an easy pick. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take out my silent pistol. And I don't know if they've moved inside or if they're still lingering outside. I'm not sure what they're doing. So I'm going to take out their windows and I'm going to shoot that hive to see if I can get one of them to peek me. Okay, so now I'm thinking, Jesus, are these guys still just crouch walking around there? I mean, the first time skip was almost 2 minutes, and the second one was almost a minute. So we're 15-ish minutes into this match, and these guys are still crouch walking around looking for me, not doing anything. This is when I start getting the idea, I wonder how long I can screw with these guys, like especially now that I've downed one of them. If I keep making noise and rotating and shooting at them and getting picks, how long are these guys willing to sit here and do nothing? Okay, I'm going to watch this a little bit more, make a little noise, see if one of them's going to come for that res, see if I can get another one to peek me. We're going to go ahead and do another time skip here. I don't end up finding anybody right now. I don't see another one. Nobody's moving. And we're going to go ahead and rotate back up to Fort Carmack. And then we're going to rotate around to the back side of Wolf's Head, opposite of where I'm at now, the west side. Alright, not a whole lot to show here at Fort. The only reason I stopped here for a second is so I can kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about making all kind of noise. Right now I'm scoping around and looking for birds that are not where I'm at and setting them off, just kind of keeping people guessing, seeing if I can get people looking different directions, keep them a little confused. Is this two teams? How fast is this guy moving? What's going on out there? They're just hearing birds in different spots, and maybe I'm confusing them a little bit. Alright, now I've rotated to the totally opposite side I was originally on. I've set off a few more birds back in Fort and did some stuff like that behind me, which kind of trails them to me a little bit, but it also keeps them peeking, I hope, although they haven't. I've kept scoping back in as I've moved. I have yet to see any signs of life. Just a few seconds ago, I finally heard them move into the boss lair for the first time. Now we've skipped almost 9 minutes of rotating, so we're somewhere in the area of 25-ish minutes into this match, and for the very first time they've actually stepped inside the boss lair. So right now my thought is kind of just hang out, let them see that it's red. I made some noise. They're about to kill the boss, and then in a second here when it dies, I'm going to be kind of close, and I actually want to try to serpent it out and see what that'll get them to do. There are two teams here. Okay, so I just heard 3 people die to one guy, and then I heard footsteps on mud, and I hear the dogs going off. So I'm thinking that there was a team crouching on the outside somewhere in the woods near where I'm at. He shot him from a room above the dogs, and now he just ran past the dogs to go loot the bodies. So I'm going to go try to find that guy. Nope. Okay. New idea. blew the ambush at the extract. I wasn't able to push it because of the dogs aggroing to me. So now if I'm going to have any chance of getting this bounty off of them, I'm going to have to get back in there and get a pick on one of them. Alright, well there goes that. Okay, well now all that's left to do, I gotta go back to Wolf's Head, and I want to see exactly where this other team died so I can try to piece this scene back together and figure out what happened in there. But I do want to point out that those are the same two guns I told you to take note of earlier. So that means this is the team that I tried to ambush coming into fort. Alright, that's just too much for me to clear with my face, so we're not going to get in that way. That's okay, we'll stop the bleeding, we'll go around. There's another way up top. We'll just go out and get up them stairs. Let's see what we got up there. Oh, here's a body. Okay, so that's one of them. It's probably the first one that died. Wait a second. A bird? Remember when I got shot back at 9:34? And I wasn't sure if there was another team or if I got flanked or what? That was this dude. That means that this team has been sitting in this building for the entirety of this match. At 9 minutes, 34 seconds, this team was in here and shot me as I ran out. And here we are at almost 46 minutes, and they're still in here, but now dead on the floor. And none of these guys are the bowler hat guy that I caught crouching out front, or who I got to look at my decoy in the back. So the bounty team, who I caught crouching out front and who I got to peek on a blank fire, are the team I've killed. I've actually never seen this team the whole time. They've been in here, not moving, this entire match. Alright guys, well, if you made it here all the way to the end, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Hopefully that means that you kind of liked this story through video idea. Please let me know what you thought of it. Comment, tell me if it was interesting, tell me if it completely sucked ass. Any feedback is fine, because like I said, totally different idea than what I've done in the past. You know, if you appreciate it or you liked it or you like any of my other videos, you know the whole routine: like, share, subscribe, that whole nonsense. And just let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one, which will end up being a continuation of the solo rat series that I was working on when this idea sprung up.